Alright, so a lot of you have been asking, where's all the snowmobile content? Why aren't you guys going snowmobiling? Well,
partially the blame for me and Paul, but
him and Paul don't have sleds, but we're really down to one snowmobile because Tim's selling his. And to hopefully upgrade, eventually, we'll see. But in the meantime, we got to do something to my sled that I have not seen anyone else on the internet do. And based on the thumbnail, you probably know what it is, but we are going to some RMK handlebars. So let's go ahead and get this out, get it in the garage, and get started.
more snow. We got like 3 inches right there.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, so because I mostly use this off trail, not so much on trail, I do on trail, but I wanted to get a set of hooped bars that are also taller. I'm going to angle them back a little bit more. Just try and make wheelies a little bit easier for me, being able to get more weight to the rear. But I haven't seen any good videos on people putting RMK bars on a Polaris Assault. So there are some few differences. You see here, they just come to an end instead of having this bend here. And obviously this is a very straight bar, whereas this has this, which should be nice because my handlebar bag is actually meant for these handlebars. So it'll get that out of the way too. So the only thing I was really worried about potentially was going to be the brake length, brake hose length, and the throttle cable length. But just looking at everything, I think once we start cutting zip ties, we should be able to get what we need out of these.
Of course, we got the official shop shoes with the Crocs.
Ooh, yeah. Alright, so there are multiple Torx bits, different screws on here, but got this undone, a couple different Torx bits. So got this unscrewed, got the emergency kill unscrewed. So now we're just getting this. I'm trying to figure out where the hand warmers are plugged in inside there. And right now we're trying to figure out how to get the throttle off.
Throttle cable, it's tucked up in here.
So we think once we pop that off, we'll be able to, I don't even know.
I think, is this your hand warmers?
No.
Is that like a sensor?
Yeah, it's some kind of sensor. Okay, so we figured it out. This bottom piece slides out.
Alright, once you... Alright, so on the back of the throttle, there's going to be a pin with a little E-clip right on the top. What I just did is took a small flathead. Let's see if this will focus. There's the clip, there's the pin. What I did is just kept a magnet on the front side, and then with the flathead I pried the clip out, and it went right onto the magnet, making sure that clip wouldn't fly anywhere and go missing anywhere. So next is a 4 13mm top bolts for the riser or for the bar. Take the caps off. Those are right here. I don't know if it matters, but I put a hash mark in correlation for each side. Alright, so we ended up having to take this top panel off. Just 2 Torx screws. What size are those? T40 right here by the main post. And then 2 little automotive plugs right here. Follow the cables for the hand warmers all the way in the pigtail. And then you'll find like this mess or harness of wires. And you got to sort through and find the plugs.
Okay, so it should be this blue and red and brown. So,
is that one of those safety clips in it?
I believe so. So that's one side. So now Now we got a chase. So just want to try and pay attention. That's the one to the left side, which I don't think that's extremely important, but just in case.
All right, we ran into an issue. Let's go over it.
So, all right. So as you can see, we can't get this straight without super stretching my throttle cable. We also can't get the brake up here. So this riser is just too tall. Now I know you're probably thinking, if you take that away, you're not getting extra length out of it. Well, these bars make a difference in the way that they're bent. They're also narrower, which I kind of want, but we're only gonna take 1.5 inches away from this.
So that was, what, 3.5 inches?
This is 3.5 inches from here to here. This one from PowerMad is a 2-inch. So that should make up that 1.5 inches that we need on all of it. Still be able to run these bars. Like I said, these are a 6-inch bar versus, I don't even think this is like 1 inch or 2. But we'll find out. So right now, not only are we getting a shorter T-post, we are also going to get a longer brake cable, brake line. So we're going to drain the brake fluid out of here and then figure out what the inner diameter is on this and make our own brake line. We will put all the parts that we use in the description. That way we can hopefully make this easier for you. It's very disappointing for how expensive this snowmobile was. Still is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it still is.
Still paying for it. If anyone wants to take daddy's money, they can kiss my ass.
For real.
It's the bank's money. Of all the years that I've owned a snowmobile, I've never once bled the brakes on it.
For chumps. Careful, that shit's extremely corrosive.
Brake fluid?
Yeah.
Good to know. So, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you guys saw what we did with the, obviously the hoon handle on the truck. Probably gonna do the same thing, where we're just gonna figure out what size line we need, order that size line, get the right size head, or whatever this is called, and just put it all together ourselves.
We've been doing a little bit of research over the last 5 minutes, trying to compare it to the RMK model to see if that's a brake line we can order and just do a direct replacement. We haven't come up with anything so far.
Couldn't find anything online, but I could probably just roll into a dealership and be like, hey, I need an RMK brake cable. They could order it for me, but we're gonna do this the hard way. You can already see it just bleeding, giving the ushy-gushy.
Once you're getting all the fluid out, we got it disconnected from down here. Just gonna pull it from the top, get it out. Then we can take measurements, figure out how much longer of a cable we need, the inner diameter that we need to match it to, and then we can find one to order. Pull harder.
It's essentially not being reused. So. All right, so we kind of noticed yesterday, so we got this on order and it got overnighted, thanks Amazon. So we got this PowerMad short, basically riser. So this is a 2-inch, and I think this is like 3.5 based off our measurement. So we're just going to take a little bit shorter. That should alleviate the pressure on our throttle cable and hopefully our brake cable. If not, we do have all the stuff for making our own longer brake cable on its way. So we will address that when we get there, but we'll go ahead and pull this off, throw this new one on. Now, go ahead and pop our PowerMad one on. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this forward real quick, get all this stuff situated properly, and then redo all my zip ties. Alright, so we've got our brake line and our banjo, I forget exactly what these call banjo brakes, I don't know, outlets. Anyway, got these in, so let's get this thrown on. We've got our brake cable routed, hooked up down there. We just gotta bleed the brakes, which is pretty simple. You know, we'll fill it, we'll crack the bleeder, and we'll go from there. But everything else is hooked up. Just gotta throw my handlebar back on. But that should be everything for installing these RMK bars on this Polaris Assault. So we'll go ahead and get everything thrown back together. That is literally everything you need to be able to install a set of RMK bars on your Polaris Assault. If you have any questions about anything we use, we'll have the links down in the description. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If this was helpful, please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe if you want to see these things in action. We got tons going on. Hopefully more snowmobiling content coming. Definitely more truck stuff. Check out the go-kart. If you haven't already, click the video right here. I'm Vinnie with Caswell Customs, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's free real estate.